Let's take a look at the Badger scouting loadout when the crap really hits the fan. Now the Badger LBE makes use of the British padded hip belt. This is the hip belt that was worn during the GWAT era when British soldiers were wearing the Osprey ballistic vest, so then they could attach whatever pouches they wanted to this padded hip belt. The Y yoke harness also came with the padded hip belt, and it works really well for a nice slim profile when I'm wearing the ruck. Now there are companies out there that you can buy ready-made LBEs, load-bearing equipment. I've kind of always been into creating and designing my own gear. Most of these pouches are made by CP Gear here in Canada, and I just kind of tailored it to suit my needs for scouting in the backcountry. Now I get asked quite frequently, hey Jeff, have you ever served? No, I have not served. My son has. I am a hobbyist and collector, and CADPAT is one of my most favorite camouflage patterns. So I enjoy putting this kit together and getting it out there in the Canadian woodlands and testing it out. It's a big passion of mine, and I just love being out in the Canadian forests. One of the philosophies I like to follow when I'm setting up kit for the backcountry is the 3-tier survival method. Now, that basically consists of one tier is your ruck and kit. The next tier is your LBE, and then a tier also on small items that you would say keep in your pants and pockets of your shirt. So what that does, it gives you redundancy, kind of big fancy word. And that is simply if something happened to say the ruck, or say some enemy got a hold of it, well then I still have the kit on my waist. Say I fell off a ledge or something and the belt tore off and it went swimming down the river, well, at least I still have what's in my pockets. I generally don't tweak the straps on my ruck when I'm taking it off, because they're preset, then I don't have to adjust. And when you want to put the ruck on, you simply grab it on its side with the straps on the outside, bring it up over your shoulder. It literally falls right into place, and then you clip your sternum strap and you're good to go. Now, I've always been kind of a hatchet guy. If you look over some of my previous belt kit videos, you're generally going to find me carrying a hatchet. It is just something I like to carry when I'm out in the forest. It makes fire preparation very, very easy. So new to this kit, now I've had this hatchet, I think I've got it about maybe within the last year. This is a Grand Force Brook hand hatchet. Now what I've done is give it some flat black paint just to kind of give it a little bit of a tactical look, and it also helps it to blend in so you don't have a nice shiny tan handle. And that is just simply sitting in a small pouch that the bottom I cut out of, so it's right there in the front, nice and handy. Next to the hatchet is a small pouch where I carry my Silva compass. Now, one thing you'll notice on my kit is most items that can be lost or dropped are tethered to the belt kit. This is really important because you take a tumble and you can lose your kit very, very quickly. So that fits nice and snug, and that's attached to the front part of this big zippered pouch. Now I recently did a video on this finished made knife. So this is my new carry, and it sits installed right in behind the pouch, and it's nice and secure. So I'm really looking forward to using that knife in the next year. This carries my canteen. So on the belt, I'm carrying 2 canteens, and then these side pouches on my ruck are also each carrying a canteen. So that gives me 4 liters of water. That's really good enough for a day's water. So there's no metal cup in here on this side, but what I do have in here is my millbank bag, and that's also attached to the D-ring. There is some couple hydration flavored Gatorade packets, 3 different flavors, and some water purification tablets. Now, I haven't really used water purification tablets a whole lot, and I can imagine maybe the taste isn't the greatest, so that's probably why I got the hydration packets in there. So those fit in here nice and easy. There's like some little mesh netting right here, and then the canteen just sits in there nice and secure. One thing I really like about how this whole rig setup is, like nothing's really rattling around or making excessive noise, so that's really nice. So as I made in the community post, these were the 200 round pouches that I used with my winnings coupon on the CP Gear contest. So in this one, I've got my coffee, binoculars, alcohol, and the alcohol stove, like that as-bit alcohol stove. So that's what I got here to prep my coffee or cook some food with. So next to the 200 round pouch, this is a triple mag pouch, and I've basically got in here a protein bar and then some dehydrated fruit. This is mac and cheese. Actually made some of that on the canoe trip this year, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty good stuff. So I decided to throw that in here. Now on the back, which is these 3 pouches are helping to support the ruck. So this is my med kit. Now it's really important because I'm out in the wilderness by myself. There's nobody around. Yes, I can get a hold of SOS satellite, through my iPhone that I'm recording. But if I sustain some major wounds, say I slipped and I fell on a flippin' chewed beaver stick or something, I had a really bad puncture. So I have a trauma kit in here to meet those needs. But before I get to that, just right here is just my simple boo-boo kit. So that's right there on the rig. It can come out, I can put it in the pocket, things like that. So I have lots of different carrying options. The bottom part of this has a pocket, so there's a cat tourniquet in the bottom. You would have seen a breakdown of this on some older previous videos, but 6-inch hemorrhage bandage, combat gauze, another tourniquet, some sutures, trauma shears, scissors, chest seal, things like that. So there's lots of things in there. Now, I make use of more of the military style of, gauze and field dressings and things like that, because, my main focus, if something happens, is to stop an arterial bleed or a major bleed, right? So I gotta get on top of that really, really quickly. And then also here is another pouch, oatmeal. Oatmeal is really good when you are out and about and have that, say, for breakfast, things like that, because it gives you lots of sustained energy. And this oatmeal, I think, has kind of like the brown sugar or the stuff mixed in with it. Now, if you've noticed, these are the morale patch that I had designed and got made up. So that's where I'm getting the name for this loadout, right? This is the Badger Scouting loadout. In this 200 round pouch, so obviously we're in the time of year when lots of rain, right? So I've got my nylon CADPAT rain poncho. So that's in there, nice and accessible. And what's really nice also, so you got the Velcro on here, and then you've got these Fastex buckles, so it really seals that up and secures that pouch. Another canteen, and in here also I have my metal cup, which I can quickly use to make coffee. Now, attached to the D-ring is my spoon and a fire steel. Now you'll notice there's no striker with this fire steel. That's what I use the knife for, and I strike the fire steel or ferrocerium rod, however you like to call that. That's the method that I like to use because I find it most fun. Next, in front, I have a small pouch that I carry my GPS. Now, on my canoe trip this year, I really got lots of use out of this GPS, and it literally saved me from getting lost in the wilderness. So having a GPS with preloaded maps, that's pretty important. Preloaded maps. You gotta get one, and they're not expensive. I think this was like 200 bucks. This is the Garmin eTrex 22X. Great little compass. So as I said, I was carrying 2 mags. These are the proprietary 20 round mags for the Black Creek MRX Bison. So that's nice. So that gives me 60 rounds to carry while I'm scouting with my bolt action rifle. And that is a non-restricted rifle. So because it's non-restricted, I can carry it anywhere on Crown land and not have any issues with any authorities. So that's really nice. So this is the yoke harness. Now, it is pre-adjusted already to my height, my size, and it is once you get it situated, if you do the straps in a way, you can literally put this thing together or take it apart really quickly just by sliding the tabs under there, and then they lock in place. So this is really nice, and if I want to adjust it to take it off or anything, you know, you just have to pull up on the tab, and you've got nice little adjustment handles here, right here. So I've been using this yoke for quite a number of years, and I really enjoy it. Now, I've done a review of this ruck on the channel. This is a former Canadian Forces ruck called Muset Pack. Apparently a lot of guys don't like it. So inside the lid, I've just got some camo cream, and in here I was able to find a number of years ago actually a CADPAT style dry bag. So that was pretty cool. So the dry bags, really important, obviously because of the rain. So I keep a day timer in here. So if I need to take down lots more information, there's large style right in the rain pads in here, colored pens, things of that nature to do different things. So that's inside. Now this is more focused for kind of staying warm this type of year. So in here is my great big mountain smock made by Arctis, and the pants and the top that I'm wearing also are made by Arctis. I keep a CADPAT tarp in here, and my large nylon tarp, and then obviously my hygiene kit, fire kit, my light and nav kit. Obviously some of the nav stuff I have on the belt, but I do have like flashlight and my headlamp still in here. Some more backup water stuff with a Sawyer Mini, and I have my Buck 110 with my multi-tool in here, and also with paracord. The bottom of the ruck has my rain poncho liner, my Whoopee. This Whoopee and this Arctis top were sent to me by my good buddy Malta Convoy, so thank you very much, buddy. And then on the bottom is my Gore-Tex bivy bag. So that is my Badger scouting loadout. Now I know I haven't been putting out a lot of content. I've been still recovering from this collapsed lung issue that I had when I was out on my canoe trip back in July. So I'm still not 100%. Still got some small air moving around my rib cage, but right now it is shrunk enough to the point where I can actually start getting out and doing some things and not be in really miserable discomfort. So yeah, brighter days are coming. Well, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for your patience and waiting for a video, and we'll see you out there in the backcountry again real soon. Coming, puppies? Come on. You guys have been waiting for a while to go for a hike, eh? Yeah, tell me about it. Getting sick of watching Netflix. Oh crap on there. Get out in the forest, hey? Yeah. Woohoo! Oh yeah, you're happy, eh, Cooper? Yeah.